Alright, everybody. Once again, it's Monty 36s. This is my mom's basement wrestling show. And I want to take a second real quick to explain something. My name, Monty 36s, and everyone that thinks that I'm some kind of devil worshiper or some kind of satanic thing like that, dude, you're way off, my friend. I got that's my online persona, okay? It just came from years of being an atheist. And automatically, when you're an atheist, automatically you're a goddamn Satan worshiper, I guess. But anyways, that's what I've been labeled most of my life. So 36 is just way of putting it out there, I guess. But I wanted to point that out to everybody. And also, you can reach me at Monty36s, Monty666 podcast at yahoo.com. Yeah, I still have a Yahoo account. I'm like the only person I know that still has a Yahoo account. And, I gave the media, gave the intro of the show. We're going to talk some wrestling. Real quick, we're going to talk some wrestling news. Get through. A few interesting things happened to talk about. Let's see here. First thing I want to talk about was Crazy Steve from Impact Wrestling, formerly known as TNA Wrestling. If you ever watched Impact Wrestling, then you would know the story of Decay and his part in that fraction. They were against the Hardy Boys, and that was really cool. Everybody liked that. You know, God damn it. It was Decay versus Delete versus Decay, and it brought me back into watching Impact Wrestling, mostly the Hardy Boys, but I like Decay's stick too. And Crazy Steve is rumored to have, and I haven't verified this from any sources I've tried to look up, that he has left Impact Wrestling. Rumored to have it that he is to come to WWE to face the Hardy Boys for the previous rivalry they had. And I don't know if that means him teaming up with somebody, or he's just fighting Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy, however that's going to work. But see, he was trained by Eric Young, not to be confused with Darren Young. Eric Young. Eric Young was in Impact Wrestling also. Played around a little bit. Not a very fascinating character, but nonetheless trained him. And he, by the way, all these people are damn Canadians. Nothing against Canadians, just boy, they make some damn good wrestling. They're damn good wrestlers. And see, Eric Young trained Crazy Steve. And one thing I wrote down was that Crazy Steve and actually this whole group Decay, they came in using the song the Nobodies from Marilyn Manson. And I just thought that was very interesting because I like Marilyn Manson, first of all, but it seemed to fit the Decay, their kind of wrestling look, whatever it was. And Crazy Steve is more of a, if you look at old pictures of him and stuff, he's more of a clownish looking guy. So it's kind of, it went to Decay, so his face decayed with it, obviously. But I thought I'd give a lowdown on that. Crazy Steve might show up at a Raw event near you. And let's see, I got here, Jericho. Now, we'll talk later about Jericho and his match with Kevin Owens, whether he will retain his title belt. Oh, wait. Sorry, got that backwards. Kevin Owens got the belt. Back that up. Kevin Owens got the belt. Because if Jericho wins, is it that he's going to SmackDown? I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Talk about that all fucking later. Because it might depend on what's happening with him and his band Fozzy. Now, I looked up some stuff, and we have a new single out, of course, called Judas, and I listened to it. And, I'm not terribly digging on his music. It's not. I like really heavy shit. And I almost saw these guys. They're in a town close to mine, and I was gonna go check it out or something. Maybe get an autograph. God only knows. He gets enough people asking for that shit. And it's called Judas, and he's got a tour. Let's see, it's called. Damn it! I can't even read my own handwriting. Judas Rising Tour, and it's starting on May 6th, and it's going to June 24th. So that's a good 2 months. May 25th, he's going to be at the Foo Bar. That's St. Louis, I believe. That's a dive place. Anyways, that may have some kind of issue on with if wins the title and moves to wherever the fuck. I'll read that shit later. But I thought I'd bring that up because it is music news and it's wrestling news, kind of like both. So, but I'm not too interested in the Fozzy. And another story that's going on is WWE going into Dubai, and what it is it's the newly constructed Dubai Open House. Oh, Dubai Opera House. Open House. God damn, I can't read my own writing. Dubai's Open House. Opera House. And it's more or less taking like 40 different men and women, and they are just having them compete with one another. It's kind of like a tough man kind of thing, except they're actually looking for talent instead of just, you do this, you do that, They're actually looking for talent, athleticism, and talking abilities, and all that good shit. So that'll be interesting. I didn't read about anybody on there on the list they gave me that I didn't know any of them. I don't recognize the names, any of that. Triple H made a comment, quote, "Not only are the Middle East and India important markets to grow our business and reach new fans, but they are also key regions from which to recruit premier athletes who want to pursue the dream of becoming a WWE superstar," unquote. So, they're pretty serious about this, and it's not the only time they've been to Dubai. It's the first time they were doing this, though. So, good luck with that. Maybe the next great Khali will show up. And this question was wondering about Jinder Mahal, if him taking the belt, which I'm sure I've talked about, if Jinder Mahal he took the belt because he's from India, I believe. I guess. If he doesn't, he can play a part really well. He took the belt on SmackDown, and he was on Talking Smack too. He didn't seem to mention it much. Yeah, his character's still goddamn boring to me. But I do like. Well, I'll get into that later. Let's see, another news. Oh, I'm sure I mentioned Suzuki Nakamura coming onto the scene from NXT. And I like him, and I keep on mentioning him because I saw him wrestle on New Japan Wrestling, and he was that damn good that I even took notice to it. And not a good talker. I mean, his broken English is a little annoying, and he's got that mouthpiece in constantly, just annoying. But that's what they got to work with. All right, let's get down to Payback. Now, I'm sorry for the decal I got going on here, because it really sucks. All the goddamn... It's the only picture that ever work on my fucking thing. Yeah. Funny. All right. Now, the Payback is going to be a Raw brand of wrestling now since they've done the Raw SmackDown BS. And it is from the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Never been there. And let's see. It'll include from SmackDown also, though, because of the big shake-up thing they did. I want to reiterate, it is a Raw brand. Okay. Pre-show. Couldn't find much on the pre-show. I did find Miz TV's going to have a thing, and they're going to interview Finn Balor. Finn Balor needs to do more wrestling instead of talking. He's a good talker, great talker. I mean, he backs it up with good wrestling, though. So he's kind of the hat trick. He can do all three things at once. That's why I thought it was very disappointing when he got injured by Seth Rollins. But he still won the match, which is great, but he had to relinquish the belt. And that always sucks when someone has to do that. But, let's see. Tag team match. Let's see. Luke Gallows. And what's that guy's name? I'm not very prepared, am I? Big Cass and Enzo versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And it's going to be a kickoff show, so probably won't get that many views. Which is... Big Cass and Enzo, they're kind of a novelty piece right now. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they're from Japan too. So I've seen them wrestle a few times in New Japan Wrestling. And they're good. They're good. Don't like their characters too much. But I'll give Big Cass and Enzo the win on that one. And it was hard to find in the kickoff show because it's not listed in the damn Wikipedia, or Payback's got an official website too. And they weren't having it there, so I guess they're not really counting on many people watching it, which is unfortunate. You need to watch. I mean, on WrestleMania, I was watching from like noon or 11 o'clock or whatever it was my time. Because they had everything going on. That was a rough one. It was a lot of hours. A lot of hours. Okay. And no particular scheme here, but we're going to go for the first match that I think will be... I'll go in the chronological order I think the matches will be in. So I'm not sure about this. First off, I'll go with Neville. He has the Cruiserweight Championship right now versus Austin Aries. And by the way, Payback, this is all just mostly rematches, if not all. And it was funny how they were doing the, on some of the number one contenders. I don't know why they were having number one contender matches when they mostly just ended up as rematches anyway. So if that was their major fucking plan, good for them. But anyways, I guess it fills up time. Whatever. What the fuck ever. Well, I have, let's see, Austin Aries, motherfucker. He reminds me of this little guy I knew. Tough piece of shit, like he is. Little guy, though. And what's up with the fucking banana that he keeps on carrying around? So he's got a banana. He's always chomping on a banana. And it started a week or two ago. And every time you see him ringside or any other kind of thing like that, he's just chomping on a banana. It's good potassium, all that good shit. It's great. He's going with it. It's kind of like Rhino with his cheese and crackers. Always got a little paper plate of cheese and crackers. Entertainment, man. Entertainment. But and Neville, as the championship, he's been winning, and of course this is a rematch. And, well, I want Austin. Austin Aries just might win it this time. I mean, they're giving him a big enough push. Yeah, they just might give it to him. So I'll take Austin Aries in that one. Why not? All right. I think the next match will be Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Bayley, the Women's Championship. Raw Women's Championship, by the way. So it's red. Alexa Bliss, she had a title belt. She came in from SmackDown, from the big shakeup. I like Alexa Bliss, and I'm sure I've said it before because she can talk, and she's actually a good wrestler to boot. And besides everyone going, oh, she ought to do porn, like, yeah, whatever. I mean, she's a damn good wrestler, and it doesn't surprise me she's gotten as far as she's gotten so quickly on the mainstream roster on the television. It doesn't surprise me because she's soothing on the eyes, and like I said, talk, and she wrestles well. You can't. That's like the three freaking things, the hat trick. But I have, a little quote someone gave to me on Twitter. This is from Wrestling Gifts. And this is a quote from Bayley. This is not a real one, by the way. Quote, being women's champ has been my dream since my dad fucked my mom. Unquote. And you see, that's funny because it's all she fucking talks about ever since she was a little fucking kid. And she's only talking about 2005. Okay, people? Remember that. She's just 12 about fucking 6 years ago. Or some shit like that. So. And I have Alexa Bliss winning that. Personal reasons, because I like Alexa Bliss. I really do dig her. And the next match. Hardy Boys. That are the tag team champs. Raw tag team champs. Versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Now, of course, everyone knows who I have in this one. Who is it? The Hardys. I really like the Hardys. I liked the Hardys in the 90s because I was a big fan in the 90s, late 90s and all that. Of Raw, especially. And I do have Hardy Boys to win. And Cesaro and Sheamus, they've been juggling them around too. It wasn't them that had I think it was them that had that matches leading up to them. I don't think that's a rematch. Well, it was the 4-way tag teams that the Hardy Boys came in. They were the other team that we didn't know about that they needed to put in to wrestle. On WrestleMania, anyway. Because, by the way, I'll reiterate, most of these matches, if not all, are just rematches. Just blah, blah, blah. And I do have the Hardy Boys to win. And I don't know if it should be a good, should be good. I like the Hardy Boys. They should really give, Matt Hardy, he's not in the flames anymore. Because Jeff Hardy was kind of the brawn, and Matt Hardy was the talker back when Impact Day. And it was the other way. It was kind of reversed. Jeff Hardy was the high flyer. Matt Hardy was kind of the other guy. But he still was equally as good. But Jeff was mostly he'd come off of high fucking ladders onto tables. And you can't beat that shit. You can't beat that shit ever. And let's see here. Next match. Oh, here's a big one. See if I got one for this. No. Sure don't. Don't have a picture for that one either. I'm so ill-prepared today. Kevin Owens, that is the United States champion, versus Chris Jericho. This is a rematch. Now, we talked earlier about Chris Jericho and his band Fozzy that are going on a tour beginning of May and to the end of June. So this gives me ideas to think that Jericho was going to go away for a little while. And that could probably not be. Maybe he's a guy that likes to burn his candle on both ends, and he's obviously got shit tons of projects all over the fucking place. If you follow him on Instagram and Twitter and all that shit, you see this guy's doing all kinds of stuff. And I think the band thing's just one of those inedible things for him that he was going to do. And it's like the last 5 years or so, he's kind of been playing the part of middle-aged crisis guy. With all the tattoos and the band, especially. I guess that started in 2005, I'm guessing. And, yeah, it's crazy. And Kevin Owens, whoa. He's been doing the good character lately. He's the United States champion, and he's been exploiting that by saying, hey, all you Americans, I'm a Canadian, and I'm better than you, kind of thing. And they could play with that. I do like that. I was when I was first introduced into wrestling, it was during the whole era of the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. And it was right before Sergeant Slaughter turned heel. And it was brilliance. I didn't realize at the time I was watching brilliance. It was coming off the Cold War with Russia and all this shit. And this just fit the part. It was awesome. USA all the way, man. It was like the Olympics. The Olympics were great those years too. But anyways, Kevin Owens, with him saying things like that, gives me a positive vibe. I do like that, him saying things like that, even though I don't know if that's what the creative really wants. Another kind of USA versus something. So they were trying to get it off Rusev when he was out there. Now he's pretty Rusev or something. Kevin Owens. So I have Kevin Owens retaining. Yeah. Because I think Jericho, because he's got a shit ton of dates, my friends. He's totally fucking booked. He's doing just house shows, festivals. He's going to be up the street at Pryor, Oklahoma, doing Rocklahoma. Of course, when I look to more and more on the bands that are performing at Rocklahoma, the more and more I'm seeing bands that I actually would want to see. Too many of them I wouldn't, but nonetheless, amazing. All right, next match, which I think will be on Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Singles match. It's the United States Championship. Well, no, wait, that was for Jericho. Seth Rollins. Oh, this is just singles match for nothing. This is, I guess, just for bragging rights. And Samoa Joe came out as Triple H's henchman. Of course, Seth Rollins was the henchman before. So now it's just the battle of the henchmen. And I don't care for Samoa Joe. Quite honestly, I don't care too much about Seth Rollins. Care less about Samoa Joe. Seth Rollins, maybe, I don't know, he's got a habit of hurting people when he's wrestling them. It's the same thing that's happened to, what's his name? Finn Balor. Totally knocked him. Of course, messed him up for months. That was SummerSlam last year. Yeah, that's a long time. So I'm automatically going to give Seth Rollins on this. I can't help but feel bad for Samoa Joe because he just might get smashed. Seth Rollins, he's an okay wrestler, but dude, he injures too many people, and he injures himself. And the thing going to where the last injury Seth Rollins had, injury, I'm doing air quotes there, because Samoa Joe, they said, re-injured his leg. And the thing was, everyone's all, and I'm sure I said it already, it was either he was going to come back and wrestle at WrestleMania and get so fucking injured, his career is going to be ending, or he was going to wait until after WrestleMania to come back. But he came back for WrestleMania, and he won some things, blah, blah, blah. Looks like a total jackass doing the stupid tights he wears. Looks like a goddamn Power Ranger. I don't know who does his dress, but he does it every time, too. He does it every single time, every pay-per-view, at least. Puts on some goofy outfit. It looks more stupid than it was before. I'm going to get Seth Rollins on this one, just because I just don't care for Samoa Joe that terribly much. Next match I got on here, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. House of Horrors match. Not whores. Horror. Horror. Non-title match. And that's Randy Orton when he defeated Bray Wyatt. That was his 9th WWE Championship. 9th. That was at WrestleMania 33. Yeah. I don't have a clue. I can't find jack shit on this House of Horrors match. I don't know. I'm thinking a lot of pre-recorded segments going on. Pre-recorded segments. And then them showing them in the ring later on. Shit like that. I don't... Special effects, you know. Nothing too groundbreaking. Probably stuff we've all seen before. It's just the new generation hasn't seen it yet. Randy Orton's a veteran. Now he is. Bray Wyatt's getting there. Still kind of green. And Randy Orton, I guess he's the home hero from where I am, because he's from St. Louis. So I like. Don't get me wrong, I like Bray Wyatt. I like the faction stuff. I love it when the team like the faction of the Wyatt family, when the Shield was really good. I mean, I like 3-man teams. You know, the New Day, they're all weird, but I do like those things. And I liked Bray Wyatt. He was strange, unusual. Now he looks like kind of like Rob Zombie, which is okay. That's his own thing. Great for him. But it kind of takes away from, I think, the way his character's supposed to be. And who knows, this House of Horrors, maybe it'll take place all pre-recorded, every bit of it, at the Wyatt farm or wherever ranch that they're at. Because they've done that before, so why not do that again, I guess. I mean, it's all pretty much pre-recorded stuff, so you only got to do a few things. Yeah, I'll take Randy Orton on that. And that's, you know, that choice of Randy Orton is off of not knowing what the House of Horrors match is going to be. Not a freaking clue. So, we'll see. Hopefully it's entertaining. Get some entertainment out of that. Let's see here. Alright. And what I have for the headline, and, you know, by the way, I put a note on here about the Usos. I didn't see anything about the Usos. Don't they have titles from SmackDown right now? Being this will be a Raw joint, so to say, they could have gave Usos some kind of push for something, and they just haven't been doing the job lately. And I saw them at a house show not too long ago, here in my little city I live in, and they came out, you know, acting all pissed off. Their new character, you know, they're all pissy. You're like, what the fuck ever? Why the fuck are we here? You know, who the fuck are you? You know, that kind of thing. And they came out just looking, the way they do, pissy. Like, people cheered the shit out of them. I know they got title belts and stuff right now. But, dude, they looked like, the way they act and stuff, they want people to boo them so bad. And people still like them. They like the fuzzy characters that came out at first. Which, granted, I did too. It's real lively, But, dude. Yeah. Okay. Give Usos a chance. That's all I'm saying. What I think the main event will be Roman Reigns against Braun Strowman. Still have a picture of him up. I know it's not the one everyone's thinking of. Kaboom! I just found this on a Twitter site, so I take no credit for it whatsoever. No credit whatsoever. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, singles match, non-title, of course, just for bragging rights. Now, we're all knowing the story that's been going around, or it's been happening for weeks now, with Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns getting the injured part. He didn't look too hot. And he took some pretty bad lumps. And storyline, if you want to stick to freaking storyline, then Roman should be dead. If you really, And Braun Strowman should be marked as a superhero for picking up an ambulance, tipping over an ambulance. With Roman Reigns in it. That's pretty serious shit. I mean, that right there. And people love, and I'm sure I've said this too, I say it, and I'll quit saying it as soon as they stop wrestling one another, about their backstory, about we thought Braun Strowman was going to wrestle Undertaker, and that didn't happen. And Roman came out, blah, blah, blah. People just don't like Roman, and they push his ass so much. And when Braun Strowman beat the shit out of him and tipped over that ambulance, people were cheering. People liked it. And they had Strowman come out last week. The garbage match. The freaking garbage can match. And whoever does the garbage can match where you just stand in it, and it's like, oh, I must, he lost. Ooh. There's no substance to that, man. None whatsoever. Because Braun Strowman just wrestled Kalisto, and I just randomly just kind of pushed him into it, and then shut the lid on him. Of course, Strowman was standing there like a jackass in the trash can. And I was just not impressed by it. But anyways, Braun Strowman came out, and when he was calling the audience garbage, you're all garbage. I don't think people took much offense to that. They still like Braun Strowman, because as much as he thinks the audience is garbage, he still hates Roman Reigns. That's what's important right now. They're feuding. And everyone thinks that, it's almost obvious that they're pushing Roman and trying to get people to boo Braun. And it's just not working. So it'll be curious to see who will they allow to win. Personally, I am on Strowman's side. I'd wish he'd kick the shit out of Roman Reigns again, and I will be there to watch it. Braun Strowman, all the way. All right. And that's all the matches I had that I could find. And I did some research. Did a little bit of research. Boy, they give you... I guess they started Payback back in... It's been 6 times they've done Payback. To this day, I can't tell you of a match from any Payback that was so remarkable that I remember it. So, maybe this time it'll be different. it doesn't say anything about like the House of Horrors match. Since there's no information whatsoever on that, and there'll probably be more during the day. It's April 30th when I'm doing this right now, and I'm trying to get this up later. I know it's late. I'm sorry about that. There'll be probably more information throughout the day of what a House of Horrors match really is. And I got to make a deep dish pizza for tonight. Yeah, that's personal news. Well, House of Horrors. Well, there's not much else besides that. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. It's going to take too much more of your time. There you go. New people will be pleased about that. Anyways. That's all. I'm not going to stand here and shitbox you too much around. You can reach me at Monty666podcast at yahoo.com. You can see me on the YouTube channel, Monty36's podcast. Where the fuck I called it. I don't even know. See, this is the thing. I didn't even want to make this a video thing. This is just the only venue I can get before I can do the podcast. My original idea is doing a podcast. That's what I want to do. But until then, I am just going to do this. Ding ding. And we'll see how many of my predictions come true. And I will try to do a show after Raw, either that night or in the next day. More than likely that night, and I won't have it up until the next day anyways, because people would be too busy listening to their own podcasts and stuff, Raw reactions and all that good crap, so that's okay. All right. Then, I guess this has been my mom's basement wrestling show. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hit me up on anything if you want to give me hate mail, all that good shit. Tell me how much I suck. Tell me how much I worship the devil. All that good shit. I don't give a fuck. Actually, I appreciate it, really. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I'm out!